we've got here is
Oh, shut up. God, this movie is so stupid. Why does it have a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? Why does it have an 8.1 on IMDb? Why does it have a 92 on Metacritic? Everyone besides me is an idiot.
Everyone is stupid except me.
Let's talk about Cool Hand Luke, because apparently everyone thinks this movie is just the caterpillar's eyebrows, and I'm the only one who thinks it's a pile of nihilistic dog crap that is praised by midwits who think Immanuel Kant is the secret ingredient to galaxy brain cinema. But before we get into that, I need to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video. For years now, there has been one name that is synonymous with quality earbuds. One name that means top quality sound, whether you're listening to a podcast or your favorite anime soundtrack. That's right, you already know, Ray Khan. You can find Ray outside the Port Authority bus terminal on 8th Avenue and 42nd Street. Go see Ray and use the promo code SHUGANGZOYE to receive 25% off your first purchase. Now, on to the video. Let me take you through my experience in watching Cool Hand Luke. Wow, this is an interesting and charismatic lead character. Wow, this is a compelling and dramatic predicament he's been dropped into. Wow, this is a fully fleshed out setting that the story is taking place in. Okay. Okay. When is he gonna do something? He's dead? Good. F*** him in this f***ing pretentious piece of shit movie. Meet Luke Jackson, or as he's later dubbed, Cool Hand Luke. Luke is a decorated war veteran who gets arrested and gets sent to a work prison in the Deep South, where he makes friends with some of his fellow prisoners and enemies of the warden and the staff. He escapes a couple times, and then he dies. That's it. That's the entire movie.
Is his sled. It was his sled from when he was a kid. There, I just saved you 2 long boobless hours.
Now, if you're a fan of this film, that summary might piss you off. You may be typing into the comments right now about all the subtle themes I glossed over, and you may be right, but my description of the story is how it transpires from Luke's perspective. You see, Luke is a troubled man, so troubled that nothing, including the threat of death, can cause him to change. The movie starts with him getting drunk and breaking parking meters. Why? Well, we don't know. Because like the character, the movie is just too cool to give us viewers any context. Why does Luke break parking meters? Why does he keep getting up after getting the crap beat out of him? Why does he do any of the seemingly random and outlandish things that he does? Well, because he's Cool Hand Luke. And maybe it's because I recently turned 40, but I'm simply getting too old for this kind of crap. I need my characters to either grow towards achieving some sort of heroic victory or fall in some kind of tragic sacrifice. Cool Hand Luke does neither of these things. He meanders around with the audience's attention for the movie's duration and then just f***ing dies for nothing. He isn't poignant, he isn't clever. His entire ethos as a character from start to finish is, f*** it, nothing matters, whatever. He's sort of like that guy from the movie The Warriors who, when asked why he shot Cyrus and kickstarted the events of the film, replies,
"No reason. I just like doing things like that."
See, it's perfectly fine to have misanthropic, nihilistic agents of chaos in your movie, the Joker being another fine example. But the difference is that the Joker and the guy from The Warriors are villains, the antagonist of the story. Luke Jackson is the protagonist. It's his story and perspective that the movie is trying to instill in the audience. And I'm sorry, but as someone who is no longer an edgy teen hanging out in the Hot Topic at the mall or lurking in DeviantArt forums, I'm too old to find anything of value in that sort of shit. Oh, but I'm completely missing the point of the character, I hear you say. What about all of the imagery and allusions to the story of Jesus Christ? What about when we see him posing like Christ on the cross? Or singing Plastic Jesus?
Cut my life into pieces.
What about how, despite not being a threat to anyone, he was killed for his influence on others and what he represented? Or how, before he was killed, he had a confrontational conversation with God in the church, similar to how Christ did in the book of Luke? And my answer to that is, so f***ing what? How precisely do a series of allusions to a classic story make another story better? That doesn't even make sense. Here, I'll show you. Rocky contains several allusions to Cool Hand Luke. They both have boxing. They both involve eating eggs. The main characters are similarly influential on others through their actions and what they represent. They both employ explicitly Judeo-Christian iconography. and they both lose in the end. So if Cool Hand Luke is a great film by alluding to Jesus Christ, and Rocky is alluding to Cool Hand Luke alluding to Jesus Christ, then Rocky must be considerably better, using the mathematical formula Rocky to the power of Cool Hand Luke times the story of Jesus Christ. Or we can simply judge the films on their own merits. Cool Hand Luke, at least to me, is a deeply cynical, misanthropic piece of garbage that lionizes the idea that life is pointless and people are helpless to the powers that hold them down. So you may as well just give up and do what you want, so you can at least be cool like Luke. And the cherry on top is that the movie depicts prison life in the 1950s Deep South as some sort of draconian, inescapable hell, where prison guards can straight up murder an unarmed man right in front of several police officers, and when the police want to take him to a nearby hospital, the prison guards are just like, no. And the police officers are like, okay. Because that's what the Deep South is like, you know? Where the police are powerless against the awesome forces of prison guards. Or at least that's what the South is like to someone who grew up in Brooklyn before moving to Beverly Hills. And that's the perfect summary of this movie, really. It's what people from New York City and Beverly Hills think the lives of ordinary people in the Deep South are actually like. Pointless and without purpose, until some hicks decide to put you out of your misery. Fuck off, Stuart Rosenberg.